UFC 270 Heavyweight Fight, Francis vs. Gane. January 26, 2022. An intense fight between the Predator and Bon Gamin took place on the 23rd of January, which resulted in Francis Ngannou winning the fight via unanimous decision. Today's video will be about Ngannou and Gane, and how their fighting styles and strengths, as well as weaknesses, played into their heavyweight match. So, without any further ado, let's dive right in. Francis Ngannou. Francis, the Predator Ngannou, is currently a part of the heavyweight bracket of UFC. With a staggering reach of 83 inches, Ngannou has a dominant mixed martial arts record of 17 wins. This includes 12 knockouts and only 3 losses by decision. A Cameroonian-born Parisian, the rise of Ngannou has been fascinating to watch, especially considering that he practically came from nothing. Fernandez Lopez recognized Ngannou's potential for MMA and gave him a place to stay and train. Thus began this man's journey in the world of mixed martial arts. Continuing on the road to World Heavyweight Champion, Ngannou was set to fight the interim UFC Heavyweight Champion Ciryl Gane at UFC 270. Fighting style. The 35-year-old Ngannou is the most frightening power puncher in the history of UFC. In fact, he holds the record for the hardest punch recorded on the planet, so you can imagine what kind of fighting style he has. Ngannou's striking style is orthodox and heavy on kickboxing. His ability to render men unconscious with a single, vicious knockout is unparalleled. Strengths. He uses deceptive feints and footwork against his opponent. He closes distance very quickly and uses a mix of jabs, crosses, and checkpoint hooks to hit them where it matters. Some of his biggest strengths are that he was absolutely awe-inspiring KO power, with a dangerous right hand that is one of the most feared weapons he has, and an accurate left hand. Ngannou is incredibly light and agile, and he's also very strong inside the clinch, notorious for first knockouts. Weaknesses. Ngannou's number one weakness is his ground game. Ngannou can easily be dumped on the mat or run into the fence with several single-leg takedowns. Another weakness may be in his endurance. Ngannou is 263 pounds of pure muscle and sheer power. All that muscle weight can be taxing on the body, making the breathing labored. Every fight he has won lasted 2 rounds, while his losses were distinct in fights that lasted for 3 rounds, so his endurance might diminish with time. Now, let's talk about Gane. But before we get into that, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so you can get more awesome content from the channel. Ciryl Gane. As a former soccer player who found a taste for Muay Thai, Ciryl Gane seems to be the hope of many when it comes to the potential of heavyweight athletes transitioning into mixed martial arts. Born on April 12, 1990 in La Roche-sur-Yon, France, Ciryl Gane is a professional mixed martial artist competing in the heavyweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. After compiling a perfect 3-0 record in which he won the TKO Heavyweight Championship in Canada, Gane signed to the UFC in 2019. Ciryl Gane debuted as he defeated Rafael Pessoa via first-round submission at UFC Fight Night in August 2019, and has only seen continual progress. He's only getting better at 31 years of age, which is kind of a daunting concept for the rest of the heavyweight division. Fighting style. Gane's orthodox fighting style is switch stance Muay Thai. His reach is an impressive 81 inches. He possesses some of the best stand-up skills in all of the UFC heavyweight divisions. Gane can land you to 5.61 strikes per minute while only absorbing 1.95. Gane's style is mostly centered around a really strong leg game, and his left leg in particular is excellent. Gane does a great job of showing his opponent his left knee before chopping the kick. Strengths. Gane is very light on his feet, and his biggest strength is switching up stances. He uses creative and unconventional feints and agile footwork to aid him. With an accurate shot selection, he goes to the body and hits the legs. Not just this, but Gane also works very well inside the clinch and has sold wrist controls and status. Former training partners. Before we get into this epic clash that took place between the two UFC powerhouses, it would be noteworthy to mention that Francis Ngannou and Ciryl Gane go a long way back. The two top-ranked UFC heavyweight fighters used to be former training partners under Fernandez Lopez, the founder of the MMA Factory. Ngannou and Gane had trained with each other a few times during their time together at MMA Factory. Ngannou had been trained under Lopez for the first half of his career, while Gane had joined when he started his professional career in 2018. So, of course, they sparred in the same gym and under the same head coach, Fernandez Lopez. But things fell apart when Ngannou lost against Miocic and left Lopez's MMA Factory to join Extreme Couture, while Gane chose to remain loyal to their shared head coach. So, their dynamic does reflect their shared history during their MMA era as friendly sparring partners. Now, they are facing off as rivals due to a coach's rift in the main event of UFC 270 in Anaheim. The fight: Francis vs. Ciryl. The two fighters met in Anaheim, California on January 22, 2022. The first round saw a lot of clinching and grappling between the two heavyweights. Ciryl Gane's expertise as an effective grappler showed during this round. However, Ngannou proved that he'd been working hard on his grappling technique, especially defense. Gane made attempts at early submissions, but was promptly checked by Ngannou, who had a response for every attempt. All in all, Ngannou appeared to have a slight advantage over Gane in this round. The next round saw a lot less grappling and a lot more striking. Gane chose to keep his distance here and showed excellent striking. Ngannou looked visibly slower than Gane and had little choice but to check the low kicks and defend against the punches. However, he did throw his usual powerful but wide punches of his own. We also saw some feints from Gane. In this round, the two combatants appeared to be evenly matched, since, despite his solid striking, Gane failed to capitalize on the opportunities his strikes created, and the match moved to round 3. Round 3 began with Gane's guard down. He carried on with his previous strategy of goading Ngannou with his striking. However, early in the round, a high kick went over Ngannou's shoulder, who promptly went for the takedown. Although Gane presented a solid defense, in attempts to go for a submission approach, he ended up giving his back to Ngannou. This grappling exchange left Gane visibly gassed. Later, he landed a kick to the head of Ngannou, who remained unfazed and went on to take Gane down once again, who landed on his head this time with an impact. As before, Gane had a solid defense, but his attempts to take control of the grappling were checked by Ngannou. The third round saw Ngannou much more dominant than in the previous rounds. The first half of the fourth round saw Gane landing more inconsequential hits on Ngannou, but ending up being taken down once again by the middle of the round. Gane was visibly tired by this time, and while he presented a decent defense as before, Ngannou landed a solid knee to the chest while having Gane up against the cage. Ngannou seemed to be wearing Gane down more in this round and kept him on the mat longer than his opponent would like. They entered the fifth and final round, knowing full well that another takedown by Ngannou would decisively tilt the decision in his favor. The fight soon went to the mat, where Ngannou attempted a triangle, which was defended against. Gane himself gained control momentarily and attempted a leg lock, which ended in nothing. After this, Ngannou maintained the top control through the rest of the round and finished off with a few strikers from the top. The round and the fight ended and went for the judge's decision. Victory went to Francis Ngannou, who won the fight via unanimous decision, with judges scoring 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46. This fight was an undisputed win for Ngannou, who showed that he had worked a lot on his cardio and grappling. Gane, on the other hand, frequently gave up favorable positions while attempting submissions. The difference between the two fighters' fighting IQ and the experience was visible. Gane did demonstrate superior striking and also broke pressure multiple times by attempting takedowns. There were also decent feints seen from Gane, but he ultimately failed to exploit his window of opportunity. And so, the undisputed winner of the game was Francis Ngannou, who played unconventionally this time, but as spectacularly as always. And that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like and a comment below, because we would love to hear your thoughts. Peace out!